Your food does not have to look like it belongs in a magazine. What it has to do though is you have to like it and it has to taste good to you. You do not have to eat nasty food to lose weight. You don't have to eat unseasoned food to lose weight. You do not have to eat food that you do not like to lose weight. So I woke up around 3, laid in the bed. Eventually, I fell back. I went back to sleep around, I don't know, 5 o'clock, and I got up around 10 minutes after 6. So yeah, I don't feel like going to the gym. I definitely want to just lay in the bed, but I've not been to the gym since Monday. It was cold here in Florida, and my right foot, the plantar fasciitis, did I did a number on my foot. I thought, well, I actually needed a cane because I could not put any pressure on that foot. It was crazy. Getting older is wow. It is just so crazy. Oh my goodness. But so after I worked out on Monday, and as the day progressed, my foot got worse and worse. And Tuesday, so like Monday afternoon and all of Tuesday was terrible, terrible. But it is better now. And I'm going to the gym. I'm not going to do anything to, not going to lift too heavy, not going to do any like strenuous cardio. So, getting older and trying to maintain this healthy lifestyle, you have to make adjustments because the body, unfortunately or fortunately, is not 20 years old anymore. So let me get off here because it's 6:50. I got to get out the house so I can get my machine. I'll talk to you guys later. I had a good workout. I walked for 30 minutes and then I made a post on Instagram. So I ended up on the treadmill for about, I think for about 40 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox some coffee that I bought. I am not sponsored by anyone. Hardly anyone knows that my channel exists. So if you're watching this, thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah, I found this coffee company. I was influenced by a young person regarding this coffee company. And I must say, the coffee is really, really good. So if you're into coffee, I do recommend this company. It's called Bones Coffee. Bones. Bones Coffee. So they had a sale, and I bought one bag, a full size bag of coffee, and then some sample size. The full size I bought is the toffee almond crunch. I think I'm gonna make this. I don't know what coffee I'm gonna make this morning, but the toffee almond crunch. I have not tried any of the coffees that I'm showing you. This is hazelnut. So I'm thinking they're just playing on the word hazelnut. Hazelnut. What is this here? White Russian. And then it says press, squeeze, and sniff. Okay. Let me squeeze, and sniff. I don't know. Oh, okay, let's see here. Smells good. I don't really smell the hazelnut. And I didn't really smell the white Russian. Yeah, I don't really smell that. What is this? Irish cream. Squeeze. Yes. I don't really smell anything. I do. I can definitely smell the scent. Churro. Maybe I don't. I know what hazelnut smells like. I know what right. Well, I don't know. I'm not really smelling those other ones. And this is s'more time, so it's a play on s'mores. Let's see. No, I don't really smell anything. Uh, Let me go into the refrigerator and I'll show you guys what I actually have and what I've been drinking. Okay. And yes, I do keep coffee in the freezer. So the salted caramel. The salted caramel is pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it is pretty good. The butterscotch caramel is also pretty good. And I may not be able to smell it because I keep it in the freezer. But my favorite is this holy cannoli. It is so good. This is really good, the holy cannoli. So I just wanted to share that with you guys for the coffee drinkers here. And, you know, now that I am sharing this with you guys, I just noticed, some people may take offense, and I don't mean for anyone to take offense. Like I said, the name of the company is called Bones Coffee. And looking at the packaging more critical now, some of you may be offended. Please don't be offended, please. So I will come back later. I think I'm gonna record what I eat in a day. If you saw my last video, what I ate for breakfast to maintain a 50-pound weight loss, you see that this breakfast is basically the same, except the chicken is a little different. So I am having a bagel, laughing cow cheese, and this time shredded chicken. And I do measure the shredded chicken. When you start your weight loss journey, you definitely want to weigh your food, because you're not going to really know how much you're eating unless you're weighing your food. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life, but you need to do it in the beginning. So you have to weigh your food, okay? All right, so I am going to bring this a little closer. Let's see. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see the actual. Okay, you're not going to be able to see the actual how much I actually weigh, but I'm going to eat 4 ounces of chicken. So, I just set it on here, and I hate that. First of all, let me spread my cheese. These little Laughing Cow cheese are so delicious. They have different flavors. This is the smoked Gouda. It is one of my favorites. They have plain, what else? Plain, jalapeno. I like the jalapeno to give my food a little kick. And so they have plain jalapeno. Jeez, I cannot think of the other one. But they also, during the holidays, they had pumpkin spice. I did not try pumpkin spice. I guess you would use the pumpkin spice for like a cinnamon raisin bagel. I guess on your plain bagel also, but no, I'm not into pumpkin spice that much. I forgot my spinach. Let me get my spinach. And you want to try to get in fruits and vegetables in almost every meal. I don't always get in my vegetables in every meal. If you can get it, start your day off with some vegetables, then you are starting the day off winning. Okay. All right. And I don't really measure spinach. I mean, I'd have to eat a ton of spinach just to get the serving size. 4 ounces of chicken, shredded chicken. As you can see, I purchased it. Probably wasn't the best use of my money, but when you are single, you can, spend your money how you feel fit. Um, and this is gonna last. This is gonna last me a few days. For people with a family, it may not last as long, especially for those of you that have teenagers. Ooh, oh my goodness. I know, especially boys, they are probably eating you out of house and home. Actually, I'm only going to do 3 ounces of chicken. So it's not pretty. Your food does not have to look like it belongs in a magazine. What it has to do, though, is you have to like it and it has to taste good to you. You do not have to eat nasty food to lose weight. You don't have to eat unseasoned food to lose weight. You do not have to eat food that you do not like to lose weight. Okay? So this is my chicken breakfast sandwich today. And I will be back to show you guys what I'm going to eat for lunch. Also, I want to emphasize, let's see, I worked out this morning, came home, showered, washed my hair, and I'm eating breakfast. When you work out, you definitely want to get in at least 30 grams of protein after you work out with weights. If you're trying to build muscle, which we are trying to build muscle, because muscle is what's going to keep us mobile when we get older. Muscle is going to keep us slim and trim and giving the young ladies a run for their money. I'm just joking. But yeah, you definitely want to get in around 30 grams of protein after you finish your workout. So I wanted to get that in there. I am back with my lunch. I went to the grocery store and decided that I would pick up some sushi. And this is the sushi. It has 400 calories, 14 grams of fat, 56 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of protein. So this is a really good lunch. Like I said, you do not have to deprive yourself, especially once you get into the maintenance phase. You have more freedom with your food choices when you're in the maintenance phase. I'm not saying go out there and eating, from Kentucky Fried Chicken or the Cheesecake Factory. But once you hit maintenance stage, you have a lot more food freedom. If I was quote unquote dieting, if I was in a cut, trying to lose weight, I could probably still work this sushi in. I could probably just eat half, and that would lower the carbs. Carbs are what, 56? So three, what? So about, anyway, y'all know what the math is, 23 and a half, something like that. But 56 grams of carbs is not bad, because if you think about it, and I'm just going to round it up to 60. 60 times 3 is 120. And then you have your two snacks in between. So if you're doing 100 and what? The 60 times 3 is, I'm sorry, is 180, not 120. 60 times 3 is 180. So you have your 180 grams of carbs. Well, you may not want to have sushi then, but you could eat half of this and save it for later, either later in the day or for the next day. Again, the purpose of this video is to show what I eat to maintain my weight loss, and basically what you can eat to lose weight, because this is a lot of food. This is going to fill me up. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 rolls in here. I'm not going to eat all 10 rolls in one sitting. So yeah, so this is my lunch. I'll be back with dinner later on. I am now going to show you guys what I'm going to eat for dinner. All right, so it is now dinner time, and let me just preface this by saying I do know how to cook rice. I just like to do things simple. Like if I have to do too much, I probably am not going to do it. So do not let anyone shame you if you do not do things, how things were done when you were growing up, such as cooking rice. Okay? Y'all are not going to shame me for using frozen rice. I don't feel like cooking. This is when I tell you, when you meal prep, you want it to be as simple as possible, because the more simple it is, the more likely you are to stick with it. So I'm going to, and I'm only feeding one person. That's me. So I can do this. So I'm going to do 71 grams of basmati rice. That was a big frozen chunk, so I didn't have to do too much there. That was, okay, so I got my 71 grams of basmati rice. And my peas, where are my scissors? Oh, they're there. Okay, and then I'm going to do 87 grams of green peas. Look, you have to make we are busy. We are busy, so we have to make life more simple. And part of making life more simple is frozen vegetables and frozen rice. So green peas. I keep wanting to say green beans, but green peas. I did a little bit more. I did 90 instead of 87. And it's important to, one of the things that we really don't grow up doing is reading labels and learning how to read labels. So the serving size, one serving size, it's 85 grams. I thought it was 87 grams. But anyway, 5 extra grams of peas are not going to hurt me. So yeah, you want to learn what a serving size is. And it says half a cup, but instead of, going by the measuring cup, it'll be more accurate when you use a food scale. So invest in a food scale. They're really cheap. You can get it from the place I will not name. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna name these places because they're all trash. But yeah, you can get it from Target, Walmart, and of course Amazon. And they're not that expensive. And yes, I do have more than one. All right. And then I have some leftover salmon that I cook. You like, look, y'all, don't judge me, okay? Please. But before I do that, I am going to heat up the rice and peas before I put the cold salmon in there. And let me just put in a little bit of seasoning also. Jesus. Mm, there we go. A little bit of what? This is key lime seasoned blending. Really good. Tasty. And I'm going to heat this up for 1 minute. I had spinach for breakfast. The sushi had cucumbers, and now I'm having the peas. Um, be right back. And watermelon. Yeah, so with every meal, you want to have your protein, your carbohydrates, and your healthy fats. So with this meal, the carbohydrates is the basmati rice and the green peas. The protein and healthy fats are from the salmon because salmon is high. Oops. Salmon is high in omega 3. So those fats are really, really good for us. Heart healthy fats. All right, so I'm going to do 3 grams. I mean, not 3 grams, 3 ounces of salmon. Y'all don't judge me. Yes, I am. I mean, I have nice bowls, and I'm gonna show you guys. So yeah, so I have the nice bowls, but the less dishes I have to wash, even though I'm only doing this for one person, the better and more simple life is. I'm all about making life as simple as possible. We have so much going on in this day and age that whatever you can do to make life a little more simple for yourself, for your family, do it. That way you have more time for you, more time to spend with your people, because we are living in some crazy times. Okay, I took some gum out of my mouth. I didn't want that to be on camera. All right, guys, so I am going to heat this up, and that will be my dinner. Um, I don't really drink like juice. Definitely don't drink sodas. When I do drink sodas, it is diet soda because it's diet soda. I'm surrounded by chemicals, okay? When I moved into this house, it was brand new. I was breathing in all types of chemicals because everything was new. Now, what I do, I buy these Ultima. I buy these Ultima for my water to stay hydrated. So that's about it. Like, I don't do juice. I don't do sodas or anything like that. If you are drinking juice and sodas, look, if you cut that stuff out, you will see change really, really quickly. Okay. And you know what? I'm not going to show you guys my little salmon bowl because it may not look appetizing, but I can guarantee you that it is very delicious. Not only is it delicious, it is healthy. This is just some of the stuff that I eat on a regular basis. I'll do another what I eat in a day. I don't know when, but yeah, because I do eat other foods. When I did I the live that was not posted, I had cooked some bison, some ground bison. I was so upset that that live did not go through because anyway. So yeah, this is what I eat to stay healthy, to maintain my weight loss. And you know what? Actually, when you some of your foods that you consider diet food will eventually become comfort food. This meal here, the basmati rice, the salmon, and the peas, is a comfort food for me because it is so delicious. The fat from the salmon just makes the rice and the peas just so much more tasty. And then, of course, the seasoning. Don't be afraid to season your food, folks. Diet food does not have to be boring. It doesn't have to be boring and it doesn't have to be elaborate. I last week I thought I had recorded me preparing my coffee and I don't know what happened, but I do not use, well, I used to use a drip coffee machine, the drip coffee machine, but I no longer use that because although I cannot avoid plastics completely, I can do whatever I can to try to avoid plastics. So I use this Chemex, it's made out of glass. And actually, it also helps the coffee to taste a little better. I think the coffee tastes better because it's not going through all the little tubes. There's no descaling, so you don't have to worry about any of the gross stuff that builds up inside the coffee machine, especially you guys that use the Nespresso and what is that other machine? The other machine, you know what I'm talking about. You definitely want to make sure that you keep those clean because, oof, if you don't and you look inside that, you'll be wondering why you are still walking on this earth. So, I don't know where I'm gonna fit in the unboxing of the coffee that I bought, but I decided to go with the toffee almond crunch. Let's see here. So I'm going with the toffee almond crunch. It smells really, really good. So my water is boiling in the, oops, dang it, I did not mean to do that. Oh well. Yep, it smells really good. So I'm going to do one heaping scoop, so a scoop of decaf. I don't know if you can hear the water boiling. It's almost finished. My water is ready. Okay. So there is a little math involved. Not really math, but you want your coffee to bloom for like 30 seconds to bring out the flavor. The reason why I started drinking coffee was to suppress my appetite. Yeah, that is not a good reason to drink coffee. But I know, like in the 80s and 90s, the models, they would, well, and not just the models, but I found out like nicotine is a appetite suppressant. Now, I never smoked, and I definitely, definitely do not recommend smoking. But in the 80s and early 90s, a lot of the supermodels lived off of cigarettes and coffee. That definitely, I wonder how they're doing health wise today. Well, you know what? Some of them have money, so they can afford the best health care. We Americans, Lord, I don't know about, we're going to leave that alone. I'm gonna leave. So part of being healthy is maintaining a healthy mindset, I guess. I don't know. It's really difficult in 2026. If you are living, oh, yeah, let me stop. So you see how it just, oh, let me just show you guys what it looks like. I'm using my regular tumbler that I always use. All right, so I have my English toffee sweet drops that should go nicely with the toffee almond crunch. So 7 drops of that. Some of you all are going to not like what I use next. I am so sorry. But moderation, people, is all about moderation. And guess what? We breathe in all kinds of chemicals every day. When you go into that office, wherever you work, when you're sitting in traffic, inhaling all that exhaust, those are chemicals also. So yes, I am justifying my use of sweeteners. Which one is this? I should know the name, right? Splenda. Yeah. I am justifying my use of Splenda. I don't use a coffee pot because of the plastic, but I'm putting Splenda in my coffee. I didn't say I was trying to be chemical free, just trying to cut back on some of the chemicals. Then we're just gonna mix that, and I will be putting some creamer in here, but I just want to taste it before I put the creamer in. Especially since the sweet drops is English toffee and the coffee is toffee almond crunch. Let's see what it tastes like. Tastes pretty good. Tastes very good. Now let me get my creamer. And I do measure how much creamer I use. More chemicals. Remember what I said, just because you're trying to lose weight does not mean you have to give up stuff that you like. You may have to cut back on what you like, but you don't have to cut it out completely. And that's why I am measuring how much of this sweet and creamy coffee creamer I'm using, because it is very easy to go over my macros when it comes to stuff like this. Okay. So normally 15 grams on here. And I should be using my other food scale because that food scale actually has milliliters for liquids. And let's see what it tastes like. It tastes good. I'll check you guys out later. I'm going to enjoy my coffee in the quietness of my house.